What is up YouTube? Today I have a tiny Wonderlands video for you guys, and in this video I will show you the easy 3 steps on how to make a strong endgame build for almost every class combo. This guide will not only make you have a great understanding of how build crafting works at endgame, but also help you come up with new build ideas, which could be a really fun experience. Oh, and also despite this video saying Wonderlands guy, the same mindset can be used for other lane titles such as Wonderlands 3 and potentially Wonderlands 4. So let's get in. So we start with the most important one first, double dipping. So what is a double dip? Double dipping is a mechanic where the same damage modifier is applied twice to a single damage source. And in Tiny Tina Wonderlands case, this game endgame is heavily based around double dipping mechanics. Many pros even call it double dipping lens, and if you watch me, Rune, or any person who made video on the endgame builds, there always at least one sort of double dipping they are using. It totally makes sense too, like double dip in most situations often double or triple your current damage. That is to say how important double dipping is to your build. There are a lot of types of double dipping. There are some for spells, some for melee, for guns, and even for stated damage or dots. It is important to know what type damage you are doing so that you can find the perfect double dip to use. Oh, and also try to get as much double dip into your build as possible, preferably of the same damage source so that you get more consistent damage. For example, if you are doing a gun build, you want to get Spore Fuse, which is an enchant for the Spore Warden class, Place the Angle, which is a Spore Warden capstone, and Guys in the Shell, which is a first tier Blind Color skill. For spell, you would want Double Knot, which is a spell knot skill, Blast Scalp, which is a Grey Ball skill. For melee build, you would want Blast Shield, which is a Berserker skill, Alchemical Agent, which is a Stable Missile skill. Note that Alchemical Agent is also dot, so you can change up with other dot double dip, such as Contagion, which is a Stable Missile skill, Spirit Swarm, which is a Blind Color capstone. There are other mechanics why they don't do quite the same job as the thing I listed above. They are still technically double dip, such as the Babylon, which is an amulet, Echo, which is a melee heal mod, Blackstorm Elemental Bolts, which is a part of the Blind Color action skill. Now that you have a great understanding of what double dip is, let's get to step 2. Now, because dipping is the act of reapplying damage modifier, we need to know which modifiers are getting reapplied. The best way to find this out is to know what buff is shared between the damage sword and the double dip itself. For instance, suppose you are using Blast Shield to double dip your melee damage, and on the card it says Blast Shield is doing ability damage, so that means you need to focus on any damage buff that is shared between melee damage and ability damage, which are global damage, conditional damage, elemental damage, and debuff. Those are the ones that will be getting reapplied twice. And if you want an easy way to know what buff you need for your double dip, I highly recommend looking at the damage formula doc made by Sen. Link will be down in the description. The doc contains specific damage formulas for each type damage, so you just need to find the tools that you need and compare them. Here you can see which buffs are multiplicative to each other and which are additive. Which raises another point I want to talk about. It's never correct to stack up too many of the same buff. You should try to get as diverse as possible with your damage modifiers. So instead of investing heavily into global damage, for example, you should get conditional damage, debuff into your damage formulas, because different buffs multiply with each other. So mathematically, you will get more damage than if you were just to stack up the same additive buffs. Another thing is that a lot of the double dipping mechanics require you to crit, so it is important that you understand how this game deals with critting stuff. Okay, so you haven't already known, everything that deals damage in this game had a baseline crit chance of 5%, quite low, right? Yep. That's why it is almost never worth it to invest in crit chance via either your rings, armor, or skill. Because no matter how hard you try, even if you get 500% crit chance, for example, which is rare mind you, 500% of 5% is still like 25%, that is barely worth it considering that you have sacrificed so much of your damage for the crit chance. There are only two exceptions to this rule, of which are melee weapons and spells, since those have fixed crit chance which can be much higher than 5% and can be much easier to scale up. Other than that, stuff like ability and gun damage will have a hard time critting unless you are using From the Shadow, which is a Starbomaster action skill. By now you should understand the math and the philosophy on how to improve your build. Alright, let's get to something more specific. Before we start this section, I just want to say that farming for the perfect roll on any item on this game is borderline impossible. However, you realistically only need 1 to 2 perfect roll or good rolls in order for your build to start working. So let's start with the 2 rings. Obviously, the main starting one is the one that would benefit the main source of your damage. Passives that are the most preferable in my opinion are any type of crit damage that fit your build. It could be spell crit damage, melee crit damage, spell crit chance, melee crit chance, and various gun type crit damage. Avoid gun crit chance and ability crit chance, they just aren't worth it. And sometimes if your build is heavily based around your action skill, getting action skill cooldown can be great too. For the amulet, find a matching element 1 to your weapons. That's the first priority. There are a lot of useful passive you can get on here like all damage, max size, fire rate, skill cooldown, and if you are doing a dot build, amulet is a great source for status damage, since they give like almost 50% status damage for just 1 roll. Yes, you can get it twice, which can be up to almost 100% math. For the armor or class mod, get the class power that you think would benefit your build the most. Here are what the class power does to each class. Look at this and figure out what would most benefit to your build. Same for the skill points. For the passive, you would want all damage, any type damage that fits your build. It could pro gun damage, all damage, spell damage, and area damage would be absolutely insane stats to get, and if you can use this, I think area damage is one of the hardest damage modifiers to get in this game. There are only 2, one on the armor and the other is a berserker skill, so getting area damage is really nice since they are unique modes, which means they are most likely multiplying with your other damage modifiers. For the quad, if you are using either the Dust Fist for damage or the body rune for survivability, you are wasting your time, unless you are doing something gimmicky. If you haven't noticed yet, I didn't mention anything about ability. Yeah, it's kinda not worth it in this game. You should always prioritize the passive and the stats get on your gear over the ability. So don't be sad if you don't get the armor or the ring that you want, because realistically, a purple with great stat is way better than a legendary with missed stat. Honorable mention, you know how any game had this like no brain big damage mechanics. Yeah, Wonderlands also has one, 2 even. So if you can handle the huge info dump that I have just put into your head, use either the Buffmeister or the Pixie Fear Not video guns. And I won't even have to explain it to you, just use them and you will see what I'm talking about. Because who cares about math? Let's just abuse unbalanced gears. Even with what I have shown you today should be enough for you to start doing the endgame. It is still highly advised for you to join the large community we have here, especially the community that is related to this game, like mine or the official server of Wonderlands. Once you join them, try to talk to as much people as possible, have a discussion around them, and if possible, talk to the pros. They are the ones with the most knowledge, and I think they could provide a lot of useful facts. Honestly, engaging with the community makes it really fun for me and hopefully for you guys too. Now, thank you for watching until all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Remember to like the video, sub to the channel, and comment down below what you think, and see you next video.